What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the RSX build. If you haven't already checked out some other videos on my channel, make sure you check those out. I'm breaking everything down on my entire build, everything that I'm doing as far as cleaning up the engine bay, all my internal parts, how to assemble everything, how to disassemble everything. So make sure you check out previous videos and upcoming videos because everything with this build is going to be documented to make your life easier if you want to do the same build or if you just want knowledge. So we're going to get straight into all of my parts. This is for my motor out of the RSX Type S. It is a k20a2, and we're going to go over every part. I'm going to show you every part number. So if you need the part numbers, just pause it and take a screenshot, and we're going to get straight into it. Got everything that I'm going to need to internally build my motor laid out on the table. First, we're going to start off with the head components that I chose. So first, we'll start off with the valves. I chose the Ferrera valves, very reputable brand. I know a bunch of people running high boost, high horsepower out of these, and had to choose them. So these are my exhaust valves here on top. So that's going to be your part number for exhaust valves. And then you got your part number for your intake valves. So then I chose with the valve springs, retainers, everything comes in one pack. I got these from Brian Crowler. Very good brand as well. A lot of people are running these. Let me give you your part number. I also got the Brian Crowler cams. These are the stage 2 turbo cams. This is just the exhaust cam that I have sitting out right here. But of course the intake cam is also in the box, all one package. Let me give you your part number on that. Let's see. Okay, we also got the Ferrera intake and exhaust valve seals. Definitely have to upgrade those if you're doing everything else. There's your part numbers. Then to wrap up the head, I got the head gasket. This will be a 87mm head gasket. I'm actually boring over my block just 2 thous, so it's going to be a 86.5, and the head gasket's always going to be 0.5 over. That's what they spec from the factory. So that's what we got right here. All right, so now we're gonna move over to some of the bottom end stuff. Got the Manley rods, definitely a must. Very reliable brand, comes with the ARP hardware. You know, these are kind of proven. You know, they're proven. People run them all the time. It's one of the major brands that people really run on their Honda builds, especially. So there's your part number. All right, so let's move over to our pistons. Got the Forge CP pistons. I mean, this is just beautiful, beautiful work of art. I mean, whew, woo, woo, woo. But you know, you're never gonna see it this clean again because the combustion's gonna happen on it. So you just gotta appreciate it. Gotta appreciate it. Look at how it shines. Whew. All right, also came with the upgraded wrist pin. Definitely a must. That came all as a kit right here, but definitely a must to upgrade your wrist pins because the OEM ones are a thinner wall, and you just need that thicker wall, especially if you're going to be going high RPM or high boost. You really need that extra security because if you only upgrade your pistons and rods, but you're not upgrading your wrist pin, which is what sits, you know, what holds the top of the rod in, then that's your weak point, you know. But so these are the 86.5s, like I was saying before. This is a 9.5 to 1. So I got these especially because I'm planning on running E85 as well as running high boost. So this is what was highly recommended to me. So I had to go with it. Let me turn this around and get you the part number. There we go. So we got our bearings here. So these are going to be our main bearings, the crank bearings, as well as the rod bearings. So very well known in the industry as well. This is the race series. Here you go. And I promise, I know it says B series, but these are also K series as well. Done a lot of research, kind of questioned myself at first too, but these are definitely the ones that you need. We're gonna move over to the ATI Super Damper. This is a great and much needed accessory when you're doing any type of high horsepower build. Anything over about 400 horsepower, this is very beneficial. So let me tell you what it does. So this is completely balanced. Unlike your factory one that's not balanced, at higher RPMs, it kind of, I don't want to say rattles, I guess you can say vibrates. You know, imagine your wheel on your car not having the proper balancing weights on it. You know, it's going to rattle a little bit. It's going to kind of cause friction. You know, it's going to shake a little bit. And that's especially not what you need inside your motor, because this connects directly to your crankshaft. So that in turn, those vibrations are going to translate to your rods and your pistons, and you just don't want that. Especially when you've just put all this money into an internal build on your motor. You know, this is definitely something that you don't want to cheap out on. Even if you're running a stock build, you're just maybe boosting a stock K series, you know, this is definitely something that you want to invest on, because it's going to give longevity to your motor. So let me give you your part number on that one. Here she is right up front. All right, so now we're gonna move over to some of the OEM Honda parts that I have over here. So we're gonna start with our timing chain kit. So I got the brand new Honda timing chain. There's your part number. So also went and got the OEM, this is the guide. So this would be the tensioner side guide, so the left-handed side guide. I'll give you your part number. And then this would be the other side, so the non-tensioner, you just had the 3 bolts in there. And there's your part number. All right, so to go with this, I also got this lower, it's a lower guide. You know, this doesn't come factory on the car. This is just extra insurance. So what this does is when this chain goes around your crank, so the actual splines that are on your crank, this locks it on there. So if there happen to be any slippage or anything like that, you know, this is going to ensure that that bottom never slips off, because it's going to ride right against this and you can never have any slip. It's also beneficial if you plan on swapping your cams out, instead of having to take your whole side cover off and everything like that, you can just you just know that this is holding the bottom on. So all you have to do is take your valve cover off and then release tension from your tensioner, and you know that this is not going to come off the crank pulley. So you can swap out your valves, make sure everything, I'm sorry, not swap out your valves, swap out your cams, and then just make sure everything is back on time, and you don't have to worry about taking the whole side cover off and going through that whole process. So this is definitely a great investment. They're cheap, maybe like 15 bucks. Oh, so we also got the top guide. So this is the guide that's gonna go on top of your timing chain. It's the one that's gonna sit right on top of your 2 cam gears and hold the chain down. So here's your part number on that one right there. All right, so we're gonna move over to the oil pump chain. I got a new chain, tensioner, and guide for that as well. So this is gonna be the oil pump chain. And this is going to be the new guide, a new tensioner, I'm sorry, the new tensioner guide. And there's your part number. And this is gonna be just the regular guide that sits off to the other side, which would be the right side. And there's your part number. All right, so we're gonna move over a little bit. Let's jump up here. This is my new water pump. Never had any issues with my water pump, but since I'm redoing the whole engine, why not go ahead and put a new water pump in there just for your extra insurance. So here's gonna be your part number. All right, so we'll move down here a little bit more. So right here, I have my rear main seal. Definitely want to put a new rear main seal on there as a must. If you had any type of oil leaks, you couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from, this might have been it. And you really want to go ahead and replace that while you have it out anyway. Very inexpensive and is a must. This is going to be the front main seal. This is what's going to go on to the timing chain cover. You're going to have to replace that too. So this is the part number for the gasket. This is one of the gaskets that go onto the timing chain cover. Went ahead and replaced that. Don't want any issues. You know, these gaskets are very inexpensive. Why not while you got it apart? This is gonna be my new valve cover gasket. You know, in there, nice and new, fresh. That's another thing. The back right corner of the valve cover tends to leak. So you definitely want to put a new seal in there, a new gasket in there, excuse me, to make sure that it won't leak. Even sometimes they might still kind of leak, and you have to put a little bit in that back right corner. You might have to put a little bit of Honda Bond, which will get me into the next thing I have. You're rebuilding your motor, Honda Bond is a must. Is a must. You must get Honda Bond. A couple bottles. One might do it, but go ahead and order two just in case. Is a must. Best stuff here. I know people that don't even have Hondas and they use Honda Bond because it's just a great product. So we're gonna move over to the oil cooler stuff. This is one of the O-rings that go on one of the fittings that is on the timing chain cover side. It's what connects this one longer hose right here to each other. So you have one in the front, one in the back. They are two different part numbers. I just have this one right now. The other one is still in the mail, but I'll get that part number listed in the description below. As well as the actual gasket that goes behind the oil cooler. Also got a new one of those that's on the way. Not here yet. I'll put that in the description below as well. And then we got the K-tuned hoses, you know, nice thick hoses. Go ahead and upgrade those. So that just about wraps up everything that I have internally. Like I said, there are a few parts that are still in the mail. A major one that I forgot to mention earlier, the head studs. So I was having a little issue with my head studs. I had ordered the ARP head studs for my car. They told me that they were back ordered and they were gonna ship on a certain date, which was only like 2 weeks out from me ordering them. Once that date came, they then pushed it back like another month. So they're just, you can't find them anywhere right now. As well as the two oil cooler fittings, like I said before. And I also am waiting on the new vtec solenoid gasket. I'm gonna be replacing that. It comes with a little screen on it and everything. And I'll put all of those part numbers in the description below. So that's almost gonna wrap the video up. Just wanna tell you guys, I got a lot of content coming out revolving around my RSX turbo build. A lot of how-tos. I'm gonna show you how to build your cylinder head. I'm gonna show you how to set your timing. I'm gonna show you everything, every step along the way, every part that I'm using. I'm gonna show you everything. So make sure you subscribe. Also working on shaving my engine bay, welding off all the plates. I'm going to be complete clean look in the engine bay, doing a whole wire tuck. So everything I'm going to lay out for you. So just make sure you subscribe. If you found this video helpful, give your boy a like and have a good one. I'll see you next time. Thank you.